Kangaroo, the leap that shakes the Australian savanna. Amidst the arid grasslands and dense bushes of Australia, there is a creature that has become a global symbol. An unceasing leaper, carrying within it both strength and a wild, enchanting beauty. That is the kangaroo. The kangaroo is the largest marsupial in the world, with powerful hind legs and a long tail that balances its body, allowing it to maintain perfect stability. They can reach nearly 2 meters in height and weigh more than 90 kilograms, making each leap feel like a bound through space. Unlike any other mammal, the kangaroo moves by hopping. With a single leap, it can cover more than 9 meters, reaching speeds of up to 60 kilometers per hour, turning the grasslands into a stage of power and agility. The thick, powerful tail acts like a third leg, helping the kangaroo to support itself and deliver lethal kicks when threatened. Kangaroos usually live in groups, also known as a mob, ranging from a few dozen to several hundred individuals. Within the mob, the dominant male defends the territory and competes for the right to mate with the strongest females. At times, adult males challenge one another in unique boxing matches. They stand upright on their tails, grapple with their forelegs, and deliver powerful kicks to claim dominance. The battle ends only when one withdraws, while the one who remains stands proudly as the king. The kangaroo's ability to conserve water is truly astonishing. They can endure many days without drinking water, drawing moisture only from dry vegetation, a perfect adaptation to a harsh land. One of the most fascinating and extraordinary things about the kangaroo is the way it raises its young. The female has a pouch at the front of her belly, where the joey is nurtured during the first months of life. At birth, the joey measures just over 2 centimeters, naked and blind. It must crawl on its own into the mother's pouch, find the milk-rich teat and grow within the absolute protection of the warm pouch. In that pouch, the joey spends many months, gradually growing fur, opening its eyes, and learning to hop. When it is big enough, it begins to peek out, then gradually explores the world, before finally leaving the pouch to live on its own. But nature is never only peace. Across the silent fields, danger is always lurking. A pack of native dingoes, with their golden coats, spots a mob of kangaroos. The pounding of paws rushes forward. The circle closes in. The kangaroo tries to leap away, each bound frantic. But the gap narrows with every moment, despair seeping into every breath. With a precise strike, the kangaroo falls in a cloud of dust. The wild dogs close in to savor their prize. But on the grasslands, the lesson of survival remains unchanged. Life is always an endless struggle. The kangaroo is not only a symbol of resilience, it is also living proof of extraordinary adaptability. In a land as harsh as Australia, it has survived, thrived, and become a source of national pride. Okavango is a living maze in the heart of Africa, where water and fire exist side by side. Amidst the chaos of life and death, there is a small creature that does not rule the food chain, but anyone who has encountered it will never forget. Okavango, the honey badger who defies death itself. The honey badger is a warrior without a throne, requiring no crown, only the bravery to survive. It is not a giant predator, but it is the greatest fear of those known as hunters, a creature that no one dares to underestimate. On the land of the Okavango Plains, that small shadow silently slides through the tall grass. With a low gait, its body long, its head almost pressed to the earth as though leaving no trace in the world of survival. Each step is calm, yet holds something that makes even nature cautious. No roar or imposing figure is required. This creature possesses an unshakable belief that it cannot be overcome by any foe. In the wild world where life is constantly at risk, that creature walks on, unperturbed. The honey badger is a symbol of tenacity, never retreating and never yielding to any of nature's brutal forces. Only a mere 1 meter long, yet the honey badger possesses the strength to make even the biggest predators wary, daring to defy every natural law. Small in stature, but mighty in the eyes of its foes. Its fur is a marvel of natural selection. The rough, silvery gray outer coat runs along its back like armor. The thick, elastic black undercoat is tough enough to withstand the fangs and claws of its foes. The skin around its neck and nape is 6 millimeters thick, soft and loose, like a protective cushion for survival. When bitten, it can quickly turn its head and strike back at the attacker with a swift, powerful bite. Short legs, a low body, but every muscle fiber tightens with each movement. The front claws are long and curved, sharp enough to dig into termite mounds, tear through bark, or pierce tough soil. When necessary, they become true deadly weapons. The honey badger's eyes are not fiery, nor do they show any aggression. They are dark, deep, watchful, and resolute. Each look carries a message that needs no words. In the wild, being poisoned often equals death. But for the honey badger, it's merely a small hurdle. There have been times when it has been bitten by a venomous snake, lying motionless for only a few minutes, then waking as though it had just had a quick rest amidst the battlefield. Its body contains a peculiar antibody, like the quiet gift of evolution. This antibody enables it to neutralize most of the lethal venom from snakes such as cobras, vipers, or even the stealthy killer camouflaged beneath the leaves. Though not entirely invincible, this ability is sufficient to make the honey badger the terror of silent killers. In the wild swamps, where competition is the law of survival, there exists an alliance that seems improbable. A small, brown-gray bird flies low, heading towards the strangest ally nature has ever crafted, the honey badger. The honey guide bird detects beehives from a distance. Upon scenting the honey, it circles the honey badger and emits a series of distinctive sounds. No explanation is needed, no training required. The honey badger understands the message, as if it were an age-old signal. The honey badger springs into action. It breaks through the hive's outer layer, driving off the bees that are fiercely defending it. When the fat larvae are pulled from the hive, it eats first. But the remaining honey, sweet and pure, is always left for its small companion. In the wild world of cunning and betrayal, the quiet cooperation between a small bird and a tenacious predator stands as evidence of remarkable adaptive intelligence. Not out of friendship, but because they both understand that survival sometimes starts with trust. Across the sun-baked savanna, the deep roar reverberates through the air. Each gaze is a declaration of supreme power, one that no one dares to challenge. At the front is the mature female, her eyes as sharp as blades. Beside her are the males, their manes tousled by the wind. They do not hunt, they simply walk, like proud warriors, demanding the world bow before them. But today, there is a creature that does not. In the stifling heat, a small movement causes the lead lion to halt. A creature is digging a den, not fleeing, not looking back. Alone, but enough to defy the gaze of the one at the top of the food chain. It is the honey badger. The lion advances. No roar, no stalking, just the steps of curiosity mixed with challenge. But instead of retreating, the honey badger turns around, unafraid, unruffled, a calm look, like the parched earth. Then it lets out a soft growl and lunges forward. The confrontation lasts less than a minute. A few strikes, a few counterattacks. But that's all it takes. The lion withdraws. Not out of fear, but because size doesn't matter. Courage is what truly determines the outcome. As the first rains of the season start to fall over the parched Okavango, the air turns more refreshing. The smell of blood and earth is replaced by another fragrance, quietly drifting in the breeze. A delicate yet alluring scent beckons. The nest gradually forms beneath the soft earth. There's no need for moonlight or romance, only the warmth of two bodies quietly preparing for a new generation. Life doesn't start with noise, but with a deep, unnamed instinct. When the baby honey badger is born, under the devoted care of its mother, it gradually grows, learns, and adapts to the harsh realities of survival. Its mother teaches it the vital skills needed to deal with the challenges of nature, from finding food to protecting itself from predators. With its keen nose and sharp claws, the honey badger can swiftly dig through the earth, overturning every nook and cranny to find hidden prey. Its perseverance and agility make every enemy cautious. When confronted by the leopard, the honey badger displays no fear. It hisses in defiance, bristles its fur in warning, and is prepared to attack, determined to protect its cub at all costs. As time goes by, the cub no longer trembles as it did when confronted by the leopard. Now, it walks with greater steadiness, slowly leaving the nest, carrying the gaze that has learned how to survive in the wild. An adult honey badger can take down a tortoise by itself, thanks to its incredibly strong jaws. It bites through the hard shell to reach the meat inside, making the tortoise a valuable source of protein. Each day, it can wander for miles in search of food. The honey badger overlooks no opportunity, even feeding on the carcasses left behind after other animals' hunts. Though small in stature, the honey badger can run at speeds of up to 30 kilometers per hour. This agility enables it to easily escape danger or pursue small prey when necessary. During the harsh dry season, when many species are forced to leave in search of better conditions, the honey badger remains determined, following old tracks. It digs the earth for eggs, sniffs out carcasses, and searches every nook and cranny for anything that can sustain its life. The honey badger's journey of survival is a vivid testament that size does not determine all. It is bravery that brings about immortality. The honey badger is not merely a clever hunter. It is a symbol of an unyielding spirit, of a fierce desire to survive amidst the harshness of nature. As the sunset descends over Okavango, those small shadows silently forage for survival. No crown, only deep black eyes and a step that never knows retreat. Bengal, the monarch of the Sundarbans forest. India is a land of magnificent nature, where thick forests merge with boundless grasslands. At the heart of this scene lies the Sundarbans, the world's largest mangrove forest, a deep green labyrinth that nurtures and protects hundreds of wild creatures. Within this unforgiving scene, the Bengal tiger stands as the soul of dominion. Its penetrating gaze and shadow-veiled form bring stillness to the Sundarbans each time it appears, resembling the quiet monarch of the mangrove forest. Beneath its regal striped fur, the tiger possesses webbed toes. This very feature renders it the consummate swimmer of the forest. Within the distinctive waters of the Sundarbans, its diet is equally varied, consisting of fish, crabs, and even juvenile crocodiles. Beyond its vivid orange coat, the Bengal tiger is also known to have rare white individuals, bearing an eerie beauty like phantoms of the forest. They are not a distinct species, nor albino, but a rare form of recessive genetic mutation. The Bengal tiger waits motionless for hours, patiently watching its prey until the one decisive moment to deliver a fatal strike. Though only 1 hunt in 10 is successful, it survives through sheer perseverance. Its roar travels 3 kilometers, forcing the whole forest to submit. Within the forest's hurried breath, a fleeting shape of a deer glides by. Burning eyes fix upon the innocent prey, oblivious to the death that approaches. Then the tiger springs out like lightning, ripping through the stillness with a savage leap. The prey, in panic, slips into the undergrowth. In the Sundarbans, the tiger is not always victorious, yet whenever it emerges, the whole forest holds its breath to witness. Defeat is but a faint scar upon the instinct for survival, and within the stillness, the predator emerges once more with an authority that cannot be denied. Half of all wild tigers on Earth carry the name Bengal. An adult may weigh on average over 200 kilograms. They are not merely emblems of power, but the very breath that decides the survival of the whole species. With surging muscles, shoulders and forelimbs as strong as steel, it possesses a fearsome strike and the strength to drag down prey far larger than itself. Broad paws and footsteps, silent as breath, turn it into an unseen predator within the forest. Furthermore, the Bengal tiger enjoys enhanced vision due to the tapetum lucidum membrane. Its small ears remain constantly vigilant, and its long whiskers, like living aerials, carry to it every tremor and the most delicate shift nearby. A fresh moment sparks within the heart of the forest. The tiger refuses to let it escape once more. It tightens instinct with resolve, directing all its power into one decisive blow to fell its prey, whatever the cost. Within the thick cover of the forest, the tiger lies flat against the earth, every muscle drawn tight. Before it, a deer moves slowly into the open, the white speckles on its back shining against the green foliage. Just a few strides separate them. The air stands still, the tiger's gaze fixed firmly on its prey, each breath drawn in suspense for the imminent eruption. The tiger springs forth like lightning, its savage strike the union of power, swiftness, and endurance. Only a few short seconds, but the outcome of hours of tireless stalking. An adult tiger may consume as much as 40 kilograms of meat in one sitting. When its hunger is satisfied, it withdraws silently to a shaded place close to the kill, remaining still for hours while it digests. Its ambushes are most often aimed at wild boar, deer, or antelope, the core of its diet. But instinct overlooks no opportunity, from monkey and juvenile crocodile to porcupine armed with quills. Each may serve as a banquet. Following the hunts, the tiger's life cycle moves on to reproduction. The tigress is pregnant for roughly 3.5 months and typically gives birth to 2 to 4 cubs, fragile creatures that endure thanks to their mother's devoted care. During the first 18 to 24 months of their lives, tiger cubs stay wholly attached to their mother, learning the art of stalking and the means of evading peril. The path to maturity is fraught with trials, and only half manage to survive into adulthood. Each tiger bears stripes that are entirely its own, an identity that cannot be confused. They are at once a refined camouflage and a quiet proclamation of territory. However varied, all are bound by nature's immutable law to claim life and to sustain the bloodline. Upon reaching maturity, every tiger claims dominion over a territory of its own. Survival instinct drives it to protect that ground at any cost, forbidding any other of its species from entering. Clashes take place in the strained stillness of the dense forest. They frequently conclude with savage wounds, and at times the cost is the very life of the weaker rival. The confrontations between rivals have scarcely faded when a new challenge emerges in the forest. Not a tiger, but a creature that appears sluggish and awkward, yet harbors a strength that even hunters are forced to fear. The sloth bear possesses a long, disheveled coat, an extended muzzle, and supple lips that enable it to draw in termites and white ants like a natural vacuum. This distinctive feeding behavior renders it an unusual presence within the forest. Its large frame, stretching close to 2 meters and weighing more than 140 kilograms, hides immense muscular power. The long curved claws, reaching 10 centimeters, are used not only for tearing into termite nests, but also as fearsome tools of defense. In contrast to its slow exterior, the sloth bear turns violently aggressive when in danger. It may rise upright, let out a thunderous roar, and strike with unexpected force. Its endurance and powerful resistance have rendered it a fearsome rival even to the tiger. In the open stretch of woodland, the tiger fixes its gaze on the mother bear, guiding her young. The atmosphere grows tense at once, each of its movements cautious and deliberate, heralding a clash between two rival powers. The bear rises tall with a resounding roar. The tiger rushes forward, then stops. Their gazes collide, intense but controlled, while the whole forest falls into silence to watch. The confrontation closes in strain. The mother bear succeeds in defending her young, yet she collapses under the tiger's teeth and claws. Within this ecosystem, every creature is drawn into the struggle for survival. They are forced to adapt with speed, cleverness, or the power of the group. A single misstep can be enough to transform the hunter into prey. Each stride of the Bengal tiger brings silence to the Sundarbans, a reminder that within this mangrove wilderness, it stands as the irreplaceable shadow of authority. The Bengal tiger was once called the man-eater, striking fear into fishermen and woodcutters. This was not due to a thirst for blood, but rather the restricted habitat and shortage of prey that compelled it to confront humans. Can humankind show the patience and responsibility to preserve that presence within the Sundarbans? For when the Bengal tiger, already a species under threat, is gone, it is not merely the loss of a proud animal, but the everlasting silence of an entire ecosystem.